And welcome to Tin Foil Hack, guys. We're doing a very special episode here in Tampa, in the home of the Roosters. Guys, thanks for tuning in. You know who I am. You know what I'm here to do. I'm here to rock. Joining me in this, what would you call this? This is our
clubhouse
club. No, this is where the minds have come together.
Conspiracy Roundtable?
Yeah, Conspiracy Roundtable. I dig that. Joining me here is a good friend of mine. How long have I known you for?
When did we meet on Craigslist? Like 7 years ago?
7 years ago, dude. 40 flowers. This guy got weird, okay? This guy got weird.
French lessons.
Please welcome from Sweat Equity, my good friend, Loss Smith, everybody.
Hello.
And joining us is his co-host of, he's the co-host of Sweat Equity, Eric Reed. Banger, Reed Danger.
Almost did it.
Okay.
You did
what
exactly
is
what
Sweat
I said.
Equity?
You don't know what sweat equity is?
I
The
don't
so
know
you
what
put-
Sweat Equity is.
You put hustle into something. So we're inside our office, Tokabaga Consulting, and so we do a lot of digital nerd work, a lot of small business consulting, and we're giving out a lot of advice. So it was kind of like, well, why don't we just have a podcast where we're interviewing people about hustle, discipline to get that. Like comedians are a good kind of indicator of that because you're your own business. You got to do a job that makes negative money for about 15 years.
Right.
And then you start really making money.
Then you make a little money for another
Right.
5.
Right. Then you struggle and then you get a couple divorces.
Yeah.
And like,
And it's his way of not paying me.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
So,
perfect.
Sweat equity, bro. And then the podcast after.
right. It's the titular sign of what's going on here. So I like it because we're kind of having a little bit of comedy with it. So there's always dick jokes, but trying to give that advice like talking about
how I
Mevo
like to
camera.
work smart. Not work hard necessarily, but work smart.
Well, I could nerd out on this for a while, but it gets our voice out there. Podcasting,
I love
and
it,
video. It's a one-way conversation, kind of like stand-up, but it feels like a dialogue.
It helps the business too.
I love when I go into different towns. I love doing local podcasts. I love it. I think it's is this right or is this right? There we go. I just love it because I love that you could be anywhere now and do your own thing.
That's why I left LA. I was like, I don't need to be here.
Well, dude, when you tell me how much you're paying for this office, it's extraordinary.
Only like $2,000, right? That's crazy.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Also joining us is from 208 Monkeys, Damien Albazar, everybody.
Close enough. How bizarre.
How bizarre. Albazar?
Alpizar.
Alpizar.
I'm Cuban, but it's supposed to be Italian.
What is 208 Monkeys?
We're just a little video production, visual effects company. We have fun with it. The reason why we call it 208 Monkeys, there are various reasons, but at the end of the day, animators like to have fun, so we wanted to have a fun.
So you do
with that.
animations, you do editing, what are some of the projects you like to work on?
Well, we do a lot of stuff with, especially when it comes to like products. We sell weird, mundane shit. All the
Okay.
time. Like
You make it exciting, like door stopper,
yeah,
door
no, no,
stopper,
we look at- we look
door
at- we look at-
stopper.
we look at a vacuum or a door stopper. And we're like, how do we make that look like a Death Star, and then get people interested in buying this stuff that they probably really, really need.
It's next level marketing, right?
Yeah. So we're doing a lot of web stuff now too. I mean, like 6-second ads are the thing now on Snapchat
Always
and
knocking
all
on
that
our
stuff like
door.
Always trying to push
Hey,
product,
what's going on
trying to
here?
push a little sweat equity.
that. Dude, I am the pusher. I'm the pusher. I push all kinds of things into households. I'm the reason why you have a garage full of stuff you don't need.
Perfect, dude. I didn't even know I had a garage.
Oh, well,
And I didn't know it was full of useless shit. That's amazing. That's all. I think editors are kings. I tell people it's like, sometimes like I think about like maybe I should just take a break from doing stand and just learn to get a black belt in editing because I feel like that skill will never go away.
Yeah, you can do a lot, especially with your own stuff. You're like, oh man, I didn't really like that. Let me fix that.
Yeah. I think that's
I'll pimp them out. You got them now. You don't need Hollywood prices.
Boom.
That's what
I'm
Tampa's
talking
good
about.
for. You get Eastern European prices at Western European
Dude,
business.
that
Yeah.
should be a video. Come down to
yeah.
Tampa. We've got Eastern European prices.
Hey, you want Czech prices? You got them here.
I'm totally cool with that. That's amazing. I mean, like, I would totally move here if you guys didn't have hurricanes and serial killers. I would totally live here.
Well, I
The
caught
serial
that
killer's
serial killer.
gone.
So
Killer's
Yeah,
gone.
well,
It's
if you
gone.
guys don't know, Tampa had a serial killer that was at McDonald's, which makes sense because the Burger King would never do that to you.
Well,
the Burger King wants to love you.
I didn't
hold
tell you we were trying to sell our house, and it was happening in our neighborhood.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
gotta be
It
hard.
was fucking the worst.
They would show a map on the news with Law's house right in the grid of it. And it was like putting out ads selling his house. Hey, price reduced.
You know, it'd be
Yeah,
hilarious.
we lost about 35 grand.
Really?
On sell. Yeah, because people were like freaked out, and then by the time they caught him, it's holiday season. So.
You're showing your house. You're like that kid Logan. You just walk in on a dead body right there. Just
Well, I do that for fun. That's fun. Yeah. Oh, like the Logan
Yeah,
Paul. What? So
Logan
what was
Paul.
that? That other voice is. You want me to bring him in? John Jacobs.
John
I
Jacob,
was
he
waiting to
worked
jump
with
in.
me New Year's Eve
Yeah.
at the Tampa Improv
great. Fun
to a
times.
packed, empty house.
Yeah.
It was packed and it was empty. But
Great,
they
yeah.
were great. First show was fun. Second show was great, in
Yeah.
my opinion. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
He's got a new album coming out called Summer at the South Side. Tell us a little about it.
Yes, Summer at Southside, 40-track comedy music album.
40 tracks.
If you like Weird Al, if you like Lonely Island, if you like Tenacious D, those are the guys we get compared to the most.
And by we, does a comparison? Your mother, your grandma?
No, everybody we've been playing this for, it's been getting great feedback. I'm so happy about it.
Okay.
It's the best thing I've ever done in my life.
Okay, so
Easily.
we're gonna play a little bit of at the end of the show.
Yeah.
We'll go out on your favorite.
Please.
What's your favorite song?
Glory Hole.
Who doesn't
Best
love a
thing
good
he's
glory
ever
hole?
done in his
Can't
life.
not like it.
There's
It's
a twist,
beautiful.
too.
There is a
there's a
twist.
dark twist in the song.
Oh, I have. Okay.
I don't want to give too much away.
Okay, we won't. I'm not even gonna get
Because it's
that.
not, the glory hole stories you hear are always nice.
Yeah.
They're always positive.
It always
They
works
end
out.
with a
Yeah.
button.
I've always
Yeah,
thought like,
usually
how
everybody
has there ever been that story where someone's dick gets ripped off?
Oh,
You would have. They
gotta
probably don't
happen.
report on that. You're probably embarrassed at that point.
Nobody. Well, I mean, like,
For
dude,
sure, for
if
sure
your
that's
dick
happened.
is gone, you got to
Right.
be like,
you
what
gotta
happened?
say something happened. Yeah.
And then you got to grab the guy that did it.
Well, there's a wall between you. How are you gonna?
Yeah, but how did he get into the room?
You're probably
You don't have to
stunned.
point at
for
me.
a
Like
bit.
elephant trunk
I
style.
think you get your dick
This
ripped
is
off.
the
a
hole,
perfect example of
wrap
what
around their
happens.
leg.
Yeah,
Welcome
you reach
to
through the
the
little hole.
conspiracy
Give me that.
theories of glory holes, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a very glorious thing either. I don't know where the glory came from.
Well, I mean, it's just that's
You
just
feel
weird.
good.
Getting through it is the
That's
glory.
just weird. Getting through.
It
Yeah.
is-
Getting
it
through
is
it.
his own challenge.
It is a risk. You on the other side, the guy getting it, but you got to be tepid
Yeah.
at the beginning.
You shake hands through the hole after you're done.
Yeah. How
Good
does,
job.
I wonder if there's been a marriage after
Yeah,
a glory hole
you
meeting.
guy puts a ring through the hole.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't know if this is conspiracy. I don't know if this is on topic for the podcast. or
It's
not.
totally on topic.
Okay.
There
Yeah,
is
I
no
figured.
topic. It's all on topic.
Perfect.
Real quick, next week, this is coming out. What today is today's 2nd. It's coming out on January 9th. It is Comedy Chaos live at the main room of the Comedy Store. We've got Russell Peters, Tiffany Haddish, Jessime Peluso, and Jimmy Dore, and Brandon Schaub's there, and I think it
Jesus
might be adding
Christ.
one more, dude.
Yeah.
That's a fucking
Wild.
lineup, dude.
Dude, we just do murder in the it's the main room of the Comedy Store. There's 400 seats. You
And
got to
Russ-
sell that.
Russell Peters is what, top 3 in the world?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Tiffany Haddish is the black unicorn, and she's great.
I
And
just
Jessime
watched Lady-
Peluso's smoking hot. And
I
cool.
watched Lady Strip.
Lady
She was really
Strip.
good in it.
Dude, that's been
good.
her since I've known her.
Oh no, she was like she carried that whole movie by far.
That's like the chick hangover, right?
I wouldn't
wouldn't
call it that. It's this guy. She's the best thing in it by far, and she carries that movie.
And then we're doing a naughty show January 17th during XBiz, again in the main room of the Comedy Store. That lineup will be out soon, and that is the business. That's all. So today, how do we get into this topic? We're kind of...
Do you need your intro music? Oh
isn't that... Didn't you already play it?
no,
You didn't play the intro music?
I thought this was all set up to this.
Oh, okay.
Mic check.
You can add it in post.
Yeah, I mean, we'll figure it out. Dude. I thought we already played it. My bad.
That's all good.
So listen, you hit me up, Law, and you're like, "Hey, man, I don't even know. Let's podcast,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Well, I listened to Tinfoil Hat.
You do.
I
Thank you.
subscribe. I 5-star it. I even reviewed it. Yeah,
Thank you,
You got
dude.
about 500 5-star reviews on there.
We're trying to get up to 1,000.
See, I slipped that in there. That's the marketing side of me trying
Thank
to
you,
help
dude.
you out.
Oh, that's that sweat equity.
important.
dog.
Sweat equity,
If people
yeah.
don't know, that's the cheat code. So if you're listening to this, pause it, give a 5-star, write a little something because you need that too.
I don't even care if it can be negative. Just
Right.
give me them 5 stars, homeboy.
I like that. We tell people funniest review. We'll probably send you something or give you a shout out.
Yeah.
That's what we do on ours. So
we read them at the end on the normal episode, but yeah, dude. I mean, the
So-
5 stars.
I was listening to the cryptocurrency one, and you were. It was really interesting. You had Dale Song, I think is the
Yeah.
guy's name, and I knew you were coming in town. I was like, oh, dude, if you want to see the dark web, I mean, we know how to get on there.
See the dark web.
Yeah, we're gonna get on it.
Have you ever
Really?
been on the dark web?
See, I don't even know what you really mean when you say dark web.
Okay, so that's a great thing. That's
Yes.
kind of something
Yeah.
that we want to get into because not everybody knows what the dark web is, and there's all this kind of mystery with the
Well,
dark web.
When you say dark web, I think like the videos of people getting murdered and
That's
stuff.
what we're
It's
talking
out like
about.
the really
It's out
sick
there.
stuff.
I mean, I think the dark web is kind of like a lot of things.
Right. Plus, like the black market.
So there's-
is what I'm
yeah.
assuming.
So
There's
black
the deep
market
web
drugs.
and dark web. I think those.
Oh,
they're-
deep web.
It's kind of confused. It's Mob Deep. Remember the
Yes,
group Mob Deep?
Quiet Storm.
That's what it is. It's,
right.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
it's just for them.
it's the dark web and deep web. Look, I'm not an expert with any of this. Eric and I were bored one day about 9 months ago. And we were like, we watched that Alex Winter
Bill and
documentary.
Ted's Excellent Adventure documentary.
Yeah,
It
he was. So
narrated
Keanu,
by Keanu.
Keanu Reeves narrates
Oh,
it,
nice.
and
What
it's
is it
the other
about?
guy from Bill and Ted that's not Keanu who
Yeah.
directed it.
The other guy.
It's about the dark web.
Is that guy still alive, by the way? I thought that guy passed away.
No, he's a computer geek. He directed this great documentary about it. It kind of really explains the basics of what the dark. What was it called?
I think it was called Dark Web
Okay.
or Deep Web, one of them.
We were watching it on Amazon Prime. I think.
I was watching it, not paying attention to it before you guys got
Well,
here.
we were curious because being comics, you're always curious. You're like, I wonder how hard that is to get on there. So
Right.
we went on YouTube, and it was
easier.
within an hour we
There's
figured
a
it out.
website,
YouTube is
darkweb.com.
amazing on you could literally learn everything.
Anything.
Yeah.
It's almost like the Matrix, where it's like, I know kung fu,
Yeah.
right? You could just
look it up.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. You
Well,
can
that's
learn
what
anything.
that's what we do here. We don't know everything about digital services, but if you get stuck, there's always some nerd somewhere that needs a little bit of glory hole,
Yeah.
a little glory in his
Little
life. Freudian slip there.
It's just yeah.
Oh, bad.
And
Viewers, how to find a glory hole and rate it on YouTube.
Yeah, do you maybe rate them like iTunes? I don't know, 5-star that. But I would say, if there's some nerd somewhere that needs a little of attention, kind of
Yeah.
like comics do too.
It's validation.
Yeah.
Just want to feel good.
Yeah, look, that view count is similar to people laughing at a show. I feel
pretty
like.
much.
I find that if anything you do, if you're not mining mining YouTube,
Yeah.
and putting out your product, no matter what that product is, you are wasting just this opportunity that is kind of somewhat new to right now. Even though YouTube's been around for a little while, but this maybe.
The profiting from it is
Or,
new.
or
Like
just
the money is
ability
new.
to reach so many people because Netflix and YouTube are the television of the world.
So
I mean,
it didn't click until I was in Damien's office. He's got some younger cats in there, and they literally work while
like
YouTube's on.
kittens, like tiny ones.
Yeah, they're very talented. I train them from going on keyboards. It's just a
You have
different
the one
kind of
that
keyboard.
just hits the keyboard.
Uh-huh.
Is that
Yeah,
your
it's
cat?
just boom, and it also
Keyboard
comes
cat.
out in animation. I'm like, dude, it's cheap labor. They work for milk and fish. I mean, fuck.
They hit the pause button.
Oh, the pause button.
Yeah, see how I did that?
Jeez.
Dad
No,
jokes.
okay.
Dad jokes all day, son. But I walked in and they turn on YouTube before anything else, and it was like it was like a year ago, and I was like, oh shit, we got to get on top of this because everybody 35, 30 or under, they go to YouTube first.
Yeah.
For everything.
They have
Okay,
a rolling bet.
What
as
do you
to
think
whether or
about the
not-
trend of like a bunch of little kids, like younger, like 10 and under, watching people just play video games?
Dude, my
Twitch?
kids do it.
Yeah,
my
Twitch
kids
stuff.
do it all the time.
Yeah,
My
what a-
kids watch videos of adults opening toy packages
Yeah,
and talking to each
unboxing
and
videos.
doing the.
It's a whole category
my
of
kids
videos
love
now.
it. 31 million views.
Yeah.
These people make $1 million
Open up
a
this
year
box
doing
of
this.
shoes
And-
right now.
Grown ups.
And what I find is that there's some people who look at that and like we're all kind of like, oh, how dumb is that? But you're like, okay, that's stupid. But look what they're doing and how many views they're doing. Why aren't you doing that with
Right.
your
exactly.
product?
I'm
Right.
angry at myself. I didn't think of that.
Right. Yeah, it's all
so easy.
It's all
I do this
projection.
anyways.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
Well,
you're-
there's 2 makeup artists in the Tampa Bay area that are 2 of the top YouTube celebrities.
It's
I
crazy.
think. and they make bank
Like 30
now.
grand a month.
They
and
just
shit.
do, and we looked at it. Damien and I looked at it. We're like, all right, what's the formula? Okay,
And
get,
it's just-
get a ring light. Okay,
Yeah.
that takes. Damien can explain all that stuff, but like, it's like okay, and then the videos are like how to get this kind of rouge on you. I don't know,
Well-
some fucking blush or something like
Yeah.
that. And it was like, holy shit! And then you look at the description. It's all affiliate links to all these beauty products.
A lot
It's
of
like,
ugly women who want to look good.
Well, you know, it's like
it's
so funny
crazy.
because a bunch of female comics try to do it, but I feel like that market's a little saturated right now because everybody's trying to do it. But the second most bought thing on your phone
Yeah.
is makeup.
Sure.
It's such a huge.
When I go goth night,
What-
I mean, where am
why-
I gonna?
Yeah.
What am I gonna do? I'm not gonna
So
go to
why-
the store.
Why is everybody so insecure? Why does everybody want makeup?
Because they're women and that's what they do. And
they've
who
just been
was it?
told-
I forget the name of
big
the singer, but she's like, "We ladies, join me. We're gonna stop wearing makeup. Are you gonna join me?" And then women are like,
Yeah.
Screw you.
Yeah,
We
the
love
women,
makeup.
women will turn their back real
It's an
quick. They're like,
advantage.
yeah, you do that.
Immediately.
"Now,
they
do you
put
know
out
what
National
makeup
Lipstick
does?
Day.
Do you know what the psychology behind makeup is?
No.
Makeup is
Fertile?
supposed to, it's supposed to give women the look of when they're having sex.
Oh,
That's
like
kinda
flush,
how their
like,
place is
I got
Smoky
you.
eyes.
and all that stuff. That's
Oh,
supposed to be
yeah,
how they
okay.
look,
Really?
and that's how that.
I heard
there's-
fertility.
Really?
Yeah.
Fertility?
Yeah.
kinda the
So
same
like that's why
idea.
red
That's
lipstick,
your fertile face. This is your fertile face. Okay.
fertile
Yeah.
myrtle.
So you look at them
But
like,
then
oh,
what
she's
happened-
having sex, yeah.
I was in.
Fertile
I was in that
face.
industry. Damien has some clients kind of still in that
What industry
industry.
are we talking about again? Because I
Beauty.
remember. Oh, beauty.
Or
Beauty,
fertile,
okay.
fertilization, prostitution.
Just wanted to make sure we had a line as to which industry we're talking about on this show.
Oh yeah. I'm not gonna name any clients.
Same office. Just go in, ask for the number 2.
Yeah, but the beauty industry is all dudes that own all these companies or the heads of them. It's crazy.
I love cosmetics industry because it seems like one of the only industry based on the idea that you're flawed.
Yeah.
And you need to look better.
Yeah.
You're ugly.
Give me money for
Fix
that.
yourself.
Well, that is straight up commercials.
Yeah.
If you watch commercials, and we'll get
Yeah,
back
yeah.
to what we're talking about, but if you watch commercials, you watch like, oh, here's a family, here's the husband, here's the kids, oh, here's the mom, and the mom is about 3 years older than the kids.
Right. Oh, yeah.
That is to make women sit home going, oh, her kids are that age?
Yep.
Right.
My kids are the same age, and she looks way younger than me. Oh, I gotta buy that because
Right.
then I'll look like her. And it's all when you hear women talk about the psychological warfare that they go through.
Oh, yeah.
It is 100% true. Marketers' whole thing is. And in particular, I hate to say it, but it's in particular white women. Most of your commercials are geared toward white women because they are the largest
top of the
population.
leaderboard. I mean, yeah. You go ahead.
They're 100% top of the. They are the largest group in America. There's more white women in this country than any other demographic,
Girthy.
and they have more disposable income than any other age demographic or sex or race. More people spend, and just women in general, regardless of your race, from the ages of like 13 to like 32 or 30, more disposable income is spent on that group than any other group out there, in particular, especially white women. It's just like more money spent on that.
Because they think of it as a legacy brand. So the way that works is if they get you hooked to a brand, you're pretty much hooked for your lifetime.
Right.
So if they can get you when you're really young, if you're into Maybelline or whatever, I don't know, fucking some kind of
Maybe it's
You know that's one of them.
Moroccan, but I don't know if that. I don't know if that's one that goes for your whole lifetime because some go for like. I think there's stuff that is like fun for girls that are 13, but it's not under that same umbrella. I think stuff like Moroccan oil for your hair to straighten
Forever
it out.
21, baby. Stay 21 forever.
Well, let me ask
I
you
mean,
something.
yeah.
Why do you think Starbucks sells like kids drinks, like little Slurpees?
yeah.
That is a hook 'em young.
That's,
Homeboy,
your
baby.
that's,
Yeah.
that's my first coffee drink was in Starbucks.
Yeah.
That's where I go. That's the only place I know. It's
Fuck
familiar
that.
everywhere. All the layout's the same everywhere you go.
By the way, Ybor, only part of the world that has no Starbucks.
failed Starbucks. It
really?
one failed here. There used to be
Failed.
one in Ybor
Good.
City. Yeah.
It's all the Cuban coffee.
For people that have never been to Tampa, it's kind of like the Bourbon Street meets meets
Nothing.
decrepit.
No, I'll
like-
tell you exactly what it is. It's West Hollywood meets Compton. It is like this amazing
Yeah.
combination of like some like ghetto-ish, with a nice gay vibe. So you have a nice.
We're in Gabor right now.
Yeah, I mean, dude, we were walking down the street and this like 6'5" young black guy's just doing twerk videos while his buddy is he's like bent over on all fours, and I'm like, go for it, dude.
Yeah.
Get those views.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
kind of like The Wire in season 3. It's like New Amsterdam. It's just like shit. Just let it happen right here.
Put some cones up and rope them off.
Did you see the guy? My favorite guy, because we were doing our college football podcast last night. Triple Option. Thank you for doing it.
Tripoli option.
Yeah, the Tripoli Option.
Hey,
and
whoa.
did you see? You were talking about the shoe liquor outside.
Yeah.
That's a conspiracy, I guess. If that guy's alive.
Well, is it? No, actually, it's not conspiracy because one, it's one guy. Conspiracy is two people conspiring, and two, he actually does it. He licked my shoes.
Oh yeah.
yeah, and
You were
got
like, hey,
you got a
dude.
boner, and I was like,
He
it's
loves it.
okay,
Hey, dude.
it's okay. We all
hey,
get that.
dude. I just celebrate life.
Yeah. Whatever gets him off.
Did
Help
you
this
see
poor guy out?
What's the deal with the guy with the signs that he has a bullhorn
Oh,
and he
dude.
has like 5 signs stacked on
I've
each other? This
interviewed
guy's
him-
in every city
yeah,
though.
No, I've interviewed this guy a few times.
So for the listeners, it's like, all right, there's a sign that says like Jesus saves, and then it's like God forever, and then it's like it's a sign that's literally like 2 stories high,
It gets progressively damning as you go up.
and then you're like, what team is this guy on? Is he for God or is he against it? You can't tell. And I've seen this in LA. I've seen this kind of guy. He's in a bullhorn,
Oh, I
like
love- yeah, to the best.
So
Yeah.
what's the guy about?
Well, this guy just wants to convert. Just show people the way of the book. Give people the word. That's his. He
Which
just wants to Christian book.
I feel bad for Jesus because nobody gets worse representation than this dude, right?
No,
I mean,
he's
like
crazy.
Jesus
He needs
probably
better
like, hey,
PR.
I'm hanging out, and then these assholes like, I represent Jesus,
Yeah.
and you're an asshole. And it's
Jacobs
like,
has a song
It's
about
like
it.
sports fans. It's just
And then one part I don't think you knew about, you might, is there's a huge Scientology place.
Oh yeah, this
There's a
fat
compound.
Cuban chick keeps trying to work
Yes,
me, and I'm like,
she's great.
I don't want to be mean to you. I have no interest in this. But did you check it out? I'm like, I don't. I listen. I appreciate your effort.
They want a
your
personality
hustling.
test, yeah.
I'm trying not to be rude to you. I don't want to do this. But did you? I'm going away. Just like,
Have you had a Scientology episode before?
no, we're
Any- gonna
gonna get into that. That's something we're gonna talk about too.
They're real estate
But
mavens.
let's get back to this. I mean, I'll tangent all day. So you've listened to podcasts. You heard about us talking about crypto, which is interesting because we added the end of it that I think it involves AI because you can't hack in to the blockchain, which is very interesting, right?
Yeah.
And basically, the whole thing is that the Bitcoin came from the need to have currency that you could do illegal activity from. That's where a lot of it comes from. That's where it gets most of its value at first, is it was used on the dark web to buy whatever weird shit that you didn't want to go through traditional system. Mostly bank is like, hey bank, hey Chase, I'm trying to buy these 15 sex slaves. Can you green light this purchase? And
Right.
it's like, and I don't mean to make light of that because it's a lot of dark shit going on with that, so my apologies. But
No. You're in a safe space here.
no, I'm not that. It's just like there's a lot of weird shit going on that does involve sex trafficking, and there's a lot of people get affected by it.
I don't think anybody was taking it from you that
Well,
way.
I know my people, but
all right.
okay, just for myself, I don't give a fuck if everyone. It's for myself. I don't want to shit on that stuff because it's
Gotcha, I gotcha.
super tragic. So people would use this Bitcoin to do transactions without having to use normal monetary systems so that they don't trigger the police. And Ryan, my co-host, shout out Ryan. Ryan is sick as shit right now, and he's on the other side of the country, so he can't be here. He said he's seen some crazy stuff on the dark web.
Yeah.
And which I don't want to see any of that, but I'm interested in how do people find the dark web? What is the dark web in
Just
your
to
guys'
clarify,
opinion?
it's not illegal to look.
Yeah.
It's not
Illegal to look
Once
at
you
it.
make a transaction, that's when it
That's-
becomes
yeah.
different.
I don't like that. I don't think you should be able to look.
You don't
Why would
think
do
you should
that?
be able to
No.
look?
So-
because why
It's
would
America,
you wanna,
man.
Yeah, but I'm
It's
assuming
really
it's
not
like,
America. It's
well,
morally
so there's
It's
two-
the world,
planet,
man.
planet.
There's 2 ways to get
Planet.
on this, and I used to get on. So you need a Tor browser. I used to do this when I was doing some crazy Facebook ad campaigns back in the day.
Right.
No, about 7, 8 years ago, I was learning from some guys that I wouldn't put on my resume.
Shady ads.
No.
Bro, we teach you Facebook sell. There's much stuff. Much stuff.
Are they Armenian?
Yeah, that's why I did.
There's all right. So there's 2 ways to kind of the whole deal with Bitcoin it's to be anonymous, right?
Right.
And technically now it's not.
Well, what I've learned about Bitcoin is it is meant to be anonymous, but at the same time, it's meant to be where every transaction that happens, anybody can see it.
Yeah. Well,
You know,
it's accounted
it's
for.
not
Well,
meant
that's
to
the,
be-
the blockchain is a ledger.
Yeah.
So that's where it's
Which is
keeping
a
track of all
ledger
this.
that nobody can hack into, by the way.
Right.
Which is why everybody thinks it's
But
AI.
when you say stuff like that, how can we be 100% sure you can't hack this?
because
thing?
hackers have said they've tried to hack into it and they cannot get into
See, this
it.
is where it gets tricky
But,
because
like-
it's tough to reference because it's not like hackers are going to the Washington Post and like, hey,
Right.
we tried to hack.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
like
I mean,
this is where it kind of gets a little vague, but the idea is that it's so complicated and it's a peer-to-peer kind of system that you can't hack it because there's so many. All right, the idea of our government has 3 parts as a checks and balances. Now parse that out into about 3 million
Okay.
checks and balances. That's kind of the idea.
but I'm just saying the idea is like in the history of time, has there really been any technology that we've never been able to manipulate?
That's why they're
Like,
saying it's AI.
so-
That's
Okay.
artificial
So-
intelligence.
right, because
So
it's
It could I mean, I think they've had hacks.
So
they've
some-
had people steal
Well, they've had
Bitcoin.
AI
so
for a
like,
while now, so AI can exist, and you can make an AI that just algorithmically
just-
learns to change its own
every
systems.
right.
I mean,
It's not- we're
Facebook
not-
is notorious for have created AIs that talk to each other in a language that nobody understands.
and they
had
shut
to
it
pull the-
down. Yeah, I saw that. It was great.
So the reason that some people might think it's AI is because they've been trying to do digital currency forever.
Okay.
And no one ever was able to make
so
it the way it needed to be. And then all of a sudden, this amazing, it's not amazing, but all of a sudden, this crash happens, this financial crash happens, and this opportunity, this unknown Japanese guy, Yakasaki Makamoto or whatever his name is, comes in and he's like, I have Bitcoin, and then everything. It's like it's really.
but he's
weird.
not like he's not. They can't find this guy.
And then
Like, he's not even
everybody
a real
comes
guy.
forward. Oh, it's the guy from SpaceX. It's this guy in Australia.
When,
You know,
That's what creeps me out is that somebody invented this and it's anonymous.
which is
Why?
another thing. Like, if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
invented
that-
this, wouldn't you be
right,
like,
that's the thing.
Hey,
you say
dude.
you said they think it's AI, so like people don't know how
No, they
this
don't.
works, is what you're telling me.
They don't know.
They're going, we got a hunch.
They do. They know how it works.
They know how
Okay,
it
but
works.
then
They don't know how. I mean, because people have started creating their own digital currency based
Yeah.
upon what they've learned from this. But like up to that point, nobody could make it, and then nobody can like get in this big. Knowing every transaction that has ever happened with a Bitcoin is on this blockchain.
Okay.
Meaning, and all the shady shit. Meaning, if you did something shady on it and you're like, oh, fuck, everybody's looking at this Bitcoin
Yeah.
chain. I want to get this off. Whoever can take something off that is going to make a lot of money.
Okay.
But nobody can.
Nobody
think
can-
of it like a big gold chain.
Yeah,
Let's visualize
that's
this
how I
for
think about it.
Jacobs.
It's a turnover chain. Right?
Yeah, the
Change-
Miami,
Yeah,
the
change
Miami turnover
blockchain
chain.
to big gold chain.
And so if someone takes a link off that chain,
Yes.
bank. There's only 16 links, right? 16, what, 16,000?
Yeah.
What? Are
Sure.
you asking me?
What's the fine?
hell
There's a
is that?
finite amount.
21 million
Of Bitcoins?
Bitcoins
Yeah.
will be the top. That's what top.
So,
top.
so
Do you know
ju-
how Bitcoins are made?
No.
Look, finish your thought now.
well, all right. So the way, like, we have inflation, right? A dollar now isn't what a dollar was 40 years
Right.
ago, right? So we inflate a dollar. So the way that works is we can create cash as the government.
Sure.
Federal Reserve can do that. It fucks everything up. That's a whole other thing. But with Bitcoin, there's a finite amount, and then it goes backwards. So you're doing like 0.00001.
Reverse inflation.
Right.
What?
Going the
Yeah.
opposite
So it's
direction.
just a bunch of decimal points. If you were to buy some right
So
now,
then what happens to the Bitcoins? How do they get rid of them?
you
what-
sell them
it's a
in
currency.
the ether.
Yeah, but you sell them
pretty
and then
much.
they disappear forever.
you could
right?
sell them to me, or you can go on a
But how
marketplace
does
like
that
I'm going to
Same-
show you.
Why does that make them disappear?
They don't
doesn't
disappear,
But
dude.
you're
It's
saying
just
it
like a
goes
bank
down.
account.
No, it's just decimal points. I'm just saying there's just a finite amount.
Yeah.
Of Bitcoins.
And then if you wanted to buy today, right?
Yes.
It's 15 grand a coin.
Okay.
Well,
I feel like
it
you're
went down to
picturing
11.
coins.
I
Yeah,
think
I'm
it went
picturing-
down to 11, but nobody knew why. And that's another reason why people are really like, why did
Yeah.
Bitcoin just drop to 11,000 and nobody knows why? And that's what I think makes people nervous, dude.
Well, it's not backed by anything. That's why I don't really invest in it that much. Is like,
And then there's the new world order, the one world monetary unit that everybody's scared about,
That's the
what's
Bitcoin.
that?
which is that, forever the deep state, whatever you want to say, the family of
Rockefellers.
13,
take over the world, one currency.
the committee of 300, whoever you think runs everything wants to have one world currency.
Yes.
And for a while there, they had the euro. There was this thought that they were going to make the Amero, okay, which was going to be Canada, United States, and Mexico. And that was a big deal because if you made us one thing, our Constitution goes out the window.
Yeah, that fucks up a lot of stuff.
It's going to be the dollar.
That's what they said about
US dollar.
Gaddafi. They said that when Gaddafi got murdered, that was
that's
a
100%
rumor
what
that
happened.
Wouldn't let the robbers
Right now,
try the
there's
bank.
live slave auctions. There's live slave auctions in Libya, and as a direct result of Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton assassinating Muammar Gaddafi because he wanted to get off the petrodollar and start his own monetary unit, and he wanted to trade oil and gold. And now there's live slave trades. Thoughts?
It was a weird time for you to put your
I mean,
arm on Damien and
No,
talk
no,
about
it's fine,
slave
it's
trade.
fine.
I was like,
I-
whoa, my God.
I
what's
wanted to
about
get that
happen?
information because so we understand that the euro did its thing. The Amero would have done its thing. What exactly is the argument against one world dollar?
Because
Too much control.
too much control, and what you do is you get rid of you allow people to rewrite laws that would take away personal freedoms. Like if we threw out the Constitution right now, rights to privacy, which you wonder if we actually still have these rights to privacies, the things that the government isn't just allowed to do. Like they're not supposed to do search warrants. They're not supposed to do search list warrants searches where they can't just go in your house and all that shit. So there's a lot of that stuff. Everybody, I'm for, like, I love traveling the world. I love everybody. I love the diversity of the world, but there is something that every place has its own rules and its own laws, and you want to respect that. When you go down to one, all of a sudden you have one group ruling everybody.
Yeah, it's a monopoly.
But that's the argument
not
for
competent.
Bitcoin is that it's decentralized. There's not one
Right.
person
Yes.
overseeing all this. You
And,
got all these
and
different.
it's also you don't have, like, if you're in Africa and I'm in Canada and I want to send you money, I have to go through these systems, and then there's taxes and fees and all this stuff. Where Bitcoin is peer to peer, where I send to you and nobody's taking a piece out of that. Now they're trying to do this with Bitcoin, which is going against the whole point. They're now trying to put transaction fees and all this stuff on there.
Because people want some people want regulation because it feels nice. Some people want.
Well,
a bank.
here's the whole thing, and I want to get back to the deep web, but the regulations. When we say, "Hey, man, there's regulations," people, "Whoa, hey, dude, we don't need these regulations." And like, well,
not
what
really
if
bad.
why don't we use the word? What I think it's more, and this is totally Jimmy Dore's thing, but protections. If they called it protections, would people be flipping the fuck out? No. And I've had libertarians on my show, and we've had arguments, and therefore, like, I want less government, and but
what does that mean? Yeah.
But then you're just running to corporations, and they're the ones who manipulate government. To me, government is just a series of thoughts. It's just paradigms in which we all agreed on. It's the enforcement of those thoughts that is the problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so like we get pulled over with drugs on us, right? You're like, this cop determines whether our life is going to be shit or not.
What are we talking? What do we get pulled over with?
With what? Okay, I
Crack.
mean, weed's not it, but
crack.
let's
Crack.
Yeah, crack.
crack. Okay,
Okay, we're
we
bringing
get
it
pulled over by
back.
crack. If he lets us go, our life is okay. If he throws us in jail, yes, there are those laws, but it's that guy who enforces the law
Right.
that's the real fucking problem.
Sure.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Jacobs can get off. He got pulled over and got off by doing some stand up for a couple.
I've
few
done
times,
that too.
yeah.
I've gotten
Really?
yeah.
Dude, I got recognized by a cop. That was ridiculous. From the MTV show.
What
Oh,
MTV
wow.
show? Are you the one?
Yeah.
God,
I know,
there's
because it was a
cops
younger
watching.
Hey,
I know.
did he go? You're the one.
Basically, he looked at me for a second and was like, hold on. And then he's like, you on that fucking show.
That
Like,
guy
no,
is in charge of people's
I did. He
lives.
actually
watching
here's-
that MTV
here's-
show.
here's the
We
best
have
part.
cops still watching MTV.
yeah, and the
If
best
that's
part
not
is-
a problem.
That's the problem.
He called another cop on scene just to show him. The other cop was not happy about that.
Okay,
at all.
that makes
He
me
was
feel a
like,
little bit
Yeah,
better.
he was like,
Okay.
what? Who's
Did
this?
he go? Now here's
he was like, why am I
we gotta
here?
get back to this deep
What?
web.
Yeah.
But at the height of not the height, but towards the end was the first. What was that Ashton Kutcher show?
Punk'd?
Like
Or
the
70s?
first two seasons of Punk, like MTV was like killing it. My friend Steve Renazizi was on it.
Yeah.
Sure.
And we had gone to Guam together. And like, dude, and if you've never been to Guam, just know it's like where the biggest military, like one of the biggest military base that the U.S. has is at Guam. And they fly just strippers out there, and these strippers sign like 6-month contracts where they just got to live out there for 6 months. And man, when we walked in with Steve and Azizi, and they saw a guy from MTV was there, it was like I just walked in with Elvis. The place, one of the best times of my life. So yeah,
Is this pre the league? He was on.
Yeah, this is pre-league.
Yeah.
This is pre-league. Okay, so we get back to the what did he?
I thought this was funny from your Instagram that you posted up
I'm
earlier.
so blessed that we have wonderful guests. I have wonderful fans. I have wonderful friends. I have wonderful Ronin that love this podcast, and they send me interesting things. And somebody sent me this graph, I guess you call it. What would you call this?
Flowchart.
Flowchart of how the world works and all the company.
I kind of want to print it out and put it in here.
Please do, dude.
For reference.
It is interesting,
to tweak some
but he's
people
got
out.
everything up to date too, like up until like only a couple weeks ago and shit like that. So very interesting stuff. Cool. So I've always wondered about the deep web and all that stuff, and I know I'm gonna get pounded out. Listen, dude, you guys should talk about till 30 minutes. Hey, dude, it's a conversation. So talk to me about this onion. What is this?
You got to have a little foreplay before you get right into it. You know, you can't just eat ass.
Yeah,
you got to get in there.
Dude, that's what I always say, dog.
What am I paying for?
Yeah,
Right.
what am I paying for? What is the difference between the deep web and the dark web?
So the dark web is a small part of the deep web. The part of the web that's not indexed by web search engines. Although sometimes these terms get confused. So I don't know if
It's if you can't Google it, basically.
Okay,
It's
you
awesome.
cannot Google these sites. Is
Right.
that what makes it the deep? Is it a separate entity from the net that we know?
pretty much for most.
Kinda.
Yeah, for most people. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
am I taking a exit off the internet freeway going to dark town, going to dark web town?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the idea, right? That's kind of what we're getting to.
Is it the search engines that choose not to list them, or is it the websites that choose to be unlisted?
That's a good question.
Look, we're not experts in this. I was just like, I can get you there.
No,
man.
it's
I
cool,
can,
dude.
I can be your Sherpa.
Get in the car, dude.
But I don't know
That's the beauty
mountain.
of this show. It's like we put the information out and people can look more
Yeah.
into it and
Call
figure it out
us.
themselves.
Call in now.
So
Actually, as far as the listing and non-listing, it's not just that. It's also they hide themselves. They can actually post unregistered IPs within IPs, so that way you're actually. In other words, your address. Imagine if you put a house inside of a building.
Is this
and
one
the
of
building is
Right.
Oh, that's a
on the
great
street,
way of
but your
looking
house
at
is
Is this
inside
like
of it.
this
It's
like
like what the hell?
ghost server
Exactly.
type shit?
So
Yeah.
it's,
Okay.
servers that hide the IP, switch IP. So in other words, at one point it exists on Law's computer,
Right.
but now all of a sudden it's now moved over to your computer. It's
Okay.
like, oh well, it
So
was
it's like
just here.
Like
I
a
just saw
sham
it.
IP
It's,
address.
Exactly.
It's like Carmen
bouncing around.
Sandiego. Nobody really knows
Where
where
is it?
So this is the IP address. So the Onion, it's
IP Chicken. What a fun website. For
yeah,
some-
IP Chicken. So if you
Web
want,
is fun when you get into
silly.
it.
if you want to get this, you go get a Tor browser. You can Google that. And
How do you get a Tor browser?
Just Google it.
You
Just
go
Google
Google
TOR.
TOR browser.
And it stands for the Onion router, I think. And the idea of this is the military use this. So when they're pinging information, you couldn't find their IP. It'll ping an IP around the world. So
IP means
I like-
address, guys.
I like that.
internet protocol.
Just putting back that
Yeah.
out there.
I like that Google will take you here.
Because
but
he
they
will
won't
get
take
very
any
nerdy,
further.
and I have to interpret. So
Yeah.
if I sound like the interpreter,
Yeah.
it's just because he'll be like, "You're gonna do this, you're gonna do that." I'm like, "That means."
You know,
Google is kind of like
They'll walk you to
with
the
the
gate.
weird villager will be like, I will take you there, but I will not enter the suicide forest.
you.
You go in there.
What's up?
Good luck.
You guys want to do a vlog? Let's go. Oh shit, he's dead. What? No way. Crazy. Oops, I'm sorry. I'm sensitive. My bad. I do a lot of vlogs. Give me a break. Subscribe now. We're doing a follow up.
We're talking about Logan,
Yeah.
that kid on
Logan Paul.
Logan
YouTube.
Paul. I mean, just
Giving him more
Stupid.
run.
he looks
Son
like
of a
his
bitch.
parents were two actors that failed and fucked and had him.
You can do it, Logan.
Yeah. So what are you
up where
looking
I
up
left
right now?
So I'm showing it's slower. That's the deal because you're pinging around
Ah.
the world basically. So it's a lot slower when you're using it. If you want to do
You're
two
pinging. So what does that mean? Like
so it's not pulling from our IP address here. It's pulling from. I'm trying to figure out the country.
Don't snitch on him, dude.
No, it'll be different every time you open it up. So
Yeah, that's the idea.
Right.
You can't nail
Oh,
it
that's
down.
almost what they do with your new ATM cards and credit cards with that little chip on there.
Yep.
It's always changing.
it's dynamic.
So it's always changed. So it's very hard for them to use credit card fraud because the card's actual whatever
The chip thing
chip
changes?
Yeah, it
Oh,
changes.
I didn't know that. So it's like this.
Yes.
Okay. But legal.
I didn't know that.
But yeah.
Safe.
So
Hey, they said, hey, that's a great idea what they're doing. Let's
Yeah.
take that and put it on
Yeah.
our cards.
Yeah, the bank should use
Well,
the dark
Europe
web
was
trick.
doing it forever, and for some reason, the United States took forever to want to do it.
So if you want to try this at home, you can get the Tor browser and then go on IP Chicken. It'll tell you right there.
Do you
That's
put in IP chicken?
yeah.
.com?
You can yep. mhm.
IP
And then
chicken.
Yeah, it's fun.
and then there's a site called MaxMind
Max Mine.
that you can look up your IP.
Okay,
and
what-
it'll be like, oh, you're in Sweden. You're
Did you
in-
mention that if you wanted to do illegal things, theoretically, you would want to use a hard
VPN?
line
Oh, that too. Yeah.
into your computer? You wouldn't want to do this over Wi-Fi. Why? I don't know. I don't get it. But
Yeah, we
that's
we
just something.
So where do you get the
from
VPN?
the documentary?
So you want to get a
V-
VPN?
VPN is another way to kind of protect yourself to be anonymous. So VPN's like it's like a computer in the sky. Think of it that way. Like
Well, they have them in China. When you go to China, they're like, oh, if you want it, because it's so censored over there, they're like, just download this VPN,
Right.
and you'll be able to surf whatever you
so
want.
it's a virtual private network. So that'll give you an IP in let's say the Netherlands. I want one over there. So I pay. There's a bunch of companies you can Google search that. So I pay for a subscription to a VPN. I got it in the Netherlands, and then through that computer, I'm doing all this.
Okay.
So that's a first step if you want.
Is
but
there legal reasons you would want to use this? Like you're saying, like if you
to
did illegal stuff.
If
like,
you're
is
a
there
reporter, if
you-
if you're staying somewhere, sometimes there's a lot of business conferences that try to steal information.
Okay.
That's happened before.
If you want to buy a gift for your spouse and they're really nosy,
Yeah.
that's how you
Yeah,
do
just
it.
because I figure, like, wouldn't you get some sort of flagged on IP Chicken if people are like, why does this guy keep using this Tor browser? Like, doesn't that look
the
suspicious?
Tor browser is the thing that creates the new IP.
So they can never know if you're on
Right.
it.
Yeah. It changes every time.
Yeah.
That's why he's talking
So,
about the
okay,
The
so
browser
they-
is an app. It's not a website. If
Yeah.
that makes
I don't
sense.
know.
Is there another?
It's like Chrome that
Is
you
that
would
you?
then put in a
Or
website.
is that on? Or is that downstairs? I
was
hear another. I hear
downstairs.
more noise.
Hearing
I'm scared,
shit.
guys. So
Kicking
so
the
it'll
door.
show me on maxmind.com that my IP is anonymous proxy.
Nice.
So there you go. If you want to check it. All right. So
Again, still legal. All this.
all this is still legal. So DuckDuckGo is the search engine for all this stuff. You can use that on Chrome or Internet Explorer.
DuckDuckGo, supposedly, the big thing is that they don't keep your data. They're not monitoring you, which I'm dying to see if that's really real. I mean,
Right.
that's a
Yeah.
great way the CIA going, oh, yeah, look at this
Yeah.
over here. We don't do any of your data. We don't mind any of your data. Use DuckDuckGoose. You're
Dude,
like,
that's-
DuckDuckGoose, I love it, right?
That was the one
It's like-
conspiracy I heard about the dark web, that it's all run by the government.
I wouldn't doubt
Dude,
it
that's
either,
like
dude.
that
Pigeonhole.
World Star is run by cops. You know what I mean? That'd be so perfect. People just uploading evidence every day
Oh, that's so funny.
just to be popular.
I wouldn't doubt it. I've done World Star.
How did you know where my house was? You shouted 8th and 22nd in the video 50.
I've done so many jokes about World Star, and people just stare at me. I'm like, how do you guys not know what World Star is?
Dude, I say those might be the last words you hear these days. if I hear World Star, I duck.
So the thing with you guys are giving way too much credit for the government to get shit done like that.
Okay,
They wait on stuff posted and
I-
then they go for it.
I don't know about that, dude.
All right.
Yeah, I don't
I-
know.
They
That's-
invested very early into Google, into YouTube, into Facebook.
At the higher level, for sure, there's something going on. But I would say lower level shit, detective shit, they wait for the phone to ring, the serial killer.
Did you hear our Dennis, our Leary episode that we did when we had Leary on, Timothy Leary's son?
I'll definitely go back. And
He basically, dude. I mean, the CIA used
MK Ultra.
the MK Ultra,
Monarch.
but they basically used the Grateful Dead to spread hippie culture and to spread acid across, because they realized when people did acid, they were much more docile. So they're thinking ahead. They're
probably
like
weed
where we
legalization.
are. yeah, and it's very interesting. It's taken
The
so
timing,
long.
all the timing is perfect.
So what we did when we were first looking at this is we watched that Silk Road documentary we were talking about a little bit ago, and now Silk Road's gone. So other marketplaces start popping up.
Yeah, that's
That's what happens. So
Free market.
There's a bunch of them that have popped up. We don't know all of them. We know one called Dream Market. So what we do is, the
Your
onion
dreams come true.
changed the onion URL. It changes sometimes because sometimes there's too many people on there, and it gets overloaded. So you have to use a bunch of different URL things.
Oh, so interesting.
So I just
you
go
put in here what did to
I'm
get
gonna
to
go
this
Reddit.
area?
I'm gonna
Hold
go
on.
to
What
Reddit.
did you put in to get to this browser? Right
I just
here?
opened it up. This is the Onion browser.
What did you put? Onion.
You can Google
this
Tor
is the-
browser and download it.
Okay.
And
This
is
then
the
you
Tor
open
browser.
it up as an application.
Okay, cool. Oh shit.
So
It's
its
a
own
replacement
thing.
for Chrome.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So instead of getting Chrome,
Yeah.
okay.
That's
Now
good.
I got
Yeah, I
it.
didn't get
Okay.
that. That's what
Okay.
yeah.
Now,
I got
now
you
it's
guys. I
its
got
own
you.
thing.
There,
Just keep
I
throwing the
finally
technical
get
shit.
it.
I'll find something for you.
Now
That
I
makes
got
more
it.
sense.
Okay.
Jesus.
So it's like Chrome. It's like Explorer.
Safari.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Reddit's the place I know of that people like. I'm probably gonna get murked for this, but Reddit's the place where people go on and kind of talk about this stuff. So that's where you can kind of find information because it won't.
I love Reddit.
It won't be censored really.
I love Reddit.
Yeah,
Sometimes I'm on Reddit for like 3 hours straight, and I had that
yeah.
I own 1,000 cats
too.
stare. You ever
Oh,
seen
yeah.
that? Like, I own 1,000 cats. That's how I feel.
Oh, yeah,
You know?
nonstop, and it always
Right?
updates. That's the thing. It's always new.
It's always
always
different.
fresh. What is it? What
Well,
is it
you know,
right now?
I mean, like, you know, we're a conspiracy theory podcast. I call it spiritual skepticism, but 99% of my discussions with non-believers is conspiracy talk versus propaganda. And I feel that like Reddit is a great place to get news because you use your brain and your past history, your past experiences to apply to whether you think this makes sense or not.
Yeah.
If it makes sense, if it fits a pattern of how shit is going on, then you explore it and you do some more like investigation into it. Whereas if it doesn't fit the pattern, you're like, that makes no sense. I'm not going to follow, but I get to do it. Whereas other people, they don't want to do that search. They want to turn on the TV and they want to have Rachel Maddow just give you propaganda because she's getting $30,000 an episode. She's going to tell you what the people who sign her checks wants her to tell you.
It's the difference between being fed information and researching
Yeah, it's
information.
a community.
I couldn't agree more. And
So-
I argue with people. I argue research versus emotion. I go, how much research have you done? They go, none. I go, so I'm just arguing against your emotions at this point.
Your hunch.
Yeah.
I feel like that's every argument.
Policy.
Well, I like, well,
With
you know,
my
it's like
wife, at least.
people always go, yes.
Well,
100%.
that's different.
People
My
always
wife.
ask me what percentage of conspiracies I believe in, and I talk about this a lot on the show, and I go, I don't believe it because you're clumping all conspiracies
Right,
together.
right.
It is like a belt system. I think I talked about this the other night. White to black.
This
you
is
know?
on stage.
No, in the green room.
Hold on, guys. I got a PowerPoint. Hold up. Does the clicker work ever?
You would find out how much people enjoy conspiracy talk on
No, I
stage.
love it.
I'm really amazed.
When
got
I
this
heard you were
bit
doing this podcast, I was like, "That's awesome. That's perfect. It's interesting. It's always interesting to hear people talk about
Well,
it."
it started as one thing, and now it's more like what I think Vice. Everybody thinks Vice is compared to what it actually is.
When you get 5%'s owned by Fox now,
Well, and
right?
then there's a whole bunch of other like George Soros
They're a
and all
marketing
this stuff,
company.
and they're like, "Hey, dude, do you want to see like multiracial nerds to investigate something that makes no sense?" You know, like that's what you tune into.
I thought
Vice.
they were the best journalists, and then my buddy broke it down. He's a photographer in New York. Shout out to Brian Thomas. He's one of the best ones out there. But he was like, no, dude, they're a marketing company. You don't get it. They're not the pure journalists you think they are. And I'm like, but they
Once
have,
you take
but
that
they have
cash-
good documentaries online.
I mean, look at the Onion got bought by Universal. You know,
It did?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
right before
Or
the election.
Univision, or-
Univision, which is a clever way of not letting everybody know Universal bought it, which
Right.
is one of the giant companies that own everything.
Oh,
So, you know, it's
Corporate-
Just got
Corporate
Esta
consolidation.
noche, Univision.
Well, corporate consolidation is a crazy thing. I mean, that's kind of why I'll try to dovetail it back into this, but that's why Bitcoin came about, right? We have big banks, right? You have the illusion of choice. You don't. It's all the same. I was just talking to someone about internet, getting an internet provider. It's the illusion of choice.
Well,
I can go with Verizon or I can go with
Yeah, two
fucking
choices.
Comcast. or
You're
whatever.
basically describing the whole concept behind the Matrix. I mean, everyone wants an illusion of choice, but how much choice do we actually have when it comes to anything that gets organized to that and that large at that certain extent? Someone has to control that.
Have you seen that map of like the food companies? It's like 7 food companies own 95% of the market of everything sold in the
And
grocery store.
that's the argument with net neutrality. Everyone's like, free market. I'm like, well, dude, I only have 2 choices.
No,
and in
yeah.
LA now, I only have 1 choice of internet.
That's going to be a huge pain in the ass. My only hope is that maybe it's the thing that gets everybody off their phones that everybody's complaining
No,
about
I'm with
so
you on
much.
that.
It's
Okay,
like,
so where are we at right
So
now?
we're on Reddit. I've typed in. I went on the Tor browser, put in Reddit Dream Market.
Okay.
And, full transparency. Sometimes we got to buy fake likes. Sometimes we got to buy fake followers for some clients. So I'm well versed on going on here. Because you used to be able to do it on Fiverr.
Only comedians are the only ones who don't do that. Comedians like, no, I got to keep it. I'm like, why Instagram models are like, they all have the exact same number of followers. You ever notice that? You go, Instagram, 150,000 followers. Like, you all have the exact same
they all got
number.
the same budget.
We don't do it for everybody. Some people need video views bought, so it gets a little clump going, so you look legit, and then when you advertise, it'll look better.
Yeah.
I don't care. Doesn't bother me. I sleep fine.
Everything's a lie. Go for it.
All right, so I'm on the Reddit. Go to Dream
Are
Market.
we in the deep web right now?
Yeah,
Dark web?
technically we're on tour, so it's just anonymous right now.
Okay.
It's just Reddit right now.
So once we get to this part, because it's still .com right here.
Right,
up
right,
here?
right.
So when you get to these links over
that's
here
it.
on the right hand
Ooh.
side, there's it all ends with .onion.
.onion is the dark net.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go to one of the backups.
Well, why?
Because these have been flooded. As I was trying to look it up before we started the show, these were flooded with too much traffic. So here's what it looks like. Craigslist basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So I gotta twist this back over
There's
here
a
real quick.
login.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to log in? You have your dark net login?
Yeah.
What?
Mr. Monkey Pants 47?
Hold on, I was trying to think of something funny while I was typing.
That really sounds more like my username. I'm like, why do you know? He's been hacking. I've been
we're-
hacked. I'm out of here.
My shit is so long now. Even when I go into like Apple and I put it, they're like, dude, how long is your fucking password,
yeah,
dude?
it's ridiculous.
Do you ever
Yeah.
change your passwords on your
No.
servers anymore? I
Oh,
don't change them. I
never.
leave
No
them
way.
long because
Yeah.
otherwise, if it's like,
Dude.
oh.
So this market's been around since 2013.
Oh, there's news on the front.
Yeah, you can. I mean,
little publication
It's
on
all
the
about
door.
security stuff. So
Criminal of the
Okay.
month.
here's a referral. Here's a referral code. If I want to,
Oh, yeah.
just like Uber, if I
Refer
like
me to-
invite my friends, I get a piece of that action.
Nice.
Fight your friends of the deep web.
So we're gonna go to the shop. Let's go shop.
Shop. Yeah, let's check it out.
All right. What do y'all want to look
You
up?
know what's so funny? I gotta be honest with you. I just thought the deep web was gonna be like when 11 goes to the other world. You ever seen that?
All
on
the
like,
lights go off automatically.
It's just gonna be dark, and you're just walking around. There's some
Yeah.
guy going, "Hey!" It's like Nicolas Cage in the 8mm. Hey, you want to see some weird shit right here?
No,
Like,
it's
this
quite
is just
polite.
so professional.
It's quite polite. It's like a very basic Amazon.
The
and so-
dark web to me is like Christian rock, and like it sounds like this crazy shit. And it's just like everything else.
Well,
Exactly.
let's hold up.
Exactly.
Let's hold up a
Same.
second because there's some crazy shit you can get on here. So the digital goods area, this is where we live. But you know, we've looked over here.
We visit.
We visit. It's interesting.
Oh, drugs?
yeah.
Uh-oh.
It's- hold on. I love that it's drugs, services,
Service.
and everything that could be included.
Hold
with
on.
that.
Does that say you could buy quality cocaine right there?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
all of
my
it.
Ketamine, right
Nice.
there.
What?
What does ketamine do to
And
you?
no, it's a
don't know.
promotional offer. Check it out. It's a promotional offer on quality cocaine.
God.
That.
So
is some
what's
weird
fun?
shit.
What's funny is you see old school business tactics, promos, sales. We're almost out of stock. Same shit's on here.
Closing.
Everything must go. Our cocaine
Yeah.
is literally flying off the shelf. That's why Crazy. Oh, you guys aren't from New York. There used to be this guy called Crazy Eddie way back in the day, and he would sell electronics. He would just scream at you, "I'm Crazy Eddie, and I'm going insane."
So
now
one
you know
thing-
he's on coke.
One thing Eric and I noticed that's funny is that there's some stuff that's totally legal here, but you can't get it in some Muslim countries or something like that. So there's like weight loss supplements. Like you
So-
can't get that everywhere.
So can we list stuff on this end?
You could, if but not
But
here.
that's a-
Not here.
You're not through anything
Right.
Dude,
related
this
to
is
me.
amazing.
You can
So,
re-listen to the podcast and then do it at
But
home.
Where
okay.
where are these vendors located? Now we don't. You'll never know.
MDMA. Let's look that up.
Okay.
Okay, it's $31. So it'll convert it for you. It looks like.
And they just ship this to your house.
Netherlands.
See, it shows. I don't want to narc them out.
Presumably, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
Really?
presumably. Well, no. Hold on. It's okay because it's presumably the Netherlands. It could be going. They
Allegedly.
could be bouncing things off of
Right,
other IPs
exactly.
as well. So really, as long as it shows up FedEx to your door,
Right.
or UPS or
Who cares?
whatever,
It could
And
be your
then-
neighbor.
it's
This
got to
is-
get
and
to
then
your door
fascinating.
and then
to
there's
me.
an escrow
Somehow. A drone's
system.
not dropping it off. I'm sure.
Here's what's super professional that should kind of exist in Amazon and other marketplaces online is there's an escrow system. So if we're buying a digital good, there's no real tangible property to get. There's nothing in the mail, right? But we're buying likes for someone's Facebook page. We have to start a brand's Facebook page. It sits in escrow until we say okay, until the order's finalized, until they did what they're supposed to do, and then we give a review, just like
Oh, even on the dark web.
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Well, that's my joke
Because
about
how-
drug dealers having what's
Five-star
Yelp
system?
having
Oh, yeah.
Yelp.
Yeah.
Don't you wish drug dealers had Yelp? You could
They
They
do.
do. They do.
Yeah, they do.
Shit, dude.
So let's look.
You thought it into existence, and there it is. Boom.
And everyone who's on the dark web's like, they do, you asshole.
Because think about it. Because if you're buying, right, you want someone that has better reviews than someone that just started or is trying to
Yeah.
scam people.
Totally.
Well,
So
it is an awkward conversation.
Hey,
when
go
you're
back
like,
to
yo,
that
how
cocaine
good
guy.
is
What are
weed?
his reviews? I want to see what his reviews
the
are.
picture, too. Is
No,
that
right
just a
down there. It's got
bag?
yeah.
This
What is-
one?
Yeah. What is his reviews? What's his coke reviews?
Almost 5 stars.
Oh, good.
He
good.
puts, he puts the paper with his username below the bag of coke.
Well, that's his brand.
yeah,
Dude,
don't
that is
steal.
so great.
That's-
dude.
And you know what they'll do is we saw that they'll throw in like a bonus drugs.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
throw in
really?
a joint for you
Oh,
for
that's
fun. You get some
great.
cocaine, I'll throw in a J for you or
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, you got to come down. You got to have something to balance it out. He's
Yeah.
like, you know what? And it's,
really
probably,
kinda
it's
sweet.
probably a
It's
vendor.
nice.
He probably gets like like vendor points. What's that when you
Right.
affiliate
Oh.
marketing? It's affiliate
Yeah,
marketing.
yeah.
That's what he's doing. He's like,
Yeah.
hey, this weed.
Building up
so
miles. Yeah.
interesting.
Well, no, he's building up brand loyalty. He wants you to keep coming back. Oh, this guy throws in a bonus
Yeah.
every time. It's like it's an infomercial, 2
Yeah.
for 1.
Yeah.
So
You know, so
interesting.
It's the same business model, but
wait.
just stuff that's
There's
illegal.
more.
But yeah, exactly.
The capitalism takes over immediately.
Yeah.
These
That's
guys,
awesome.
Services. Let's look under there.
yeah, let's look at weird
They
ass
have,
services.
yeah, they have like pictures of hookers and shit. Or
what is that
I
guy
like-
throwing
there's
up?
just
What is
stacks
that?
of
What
money.
looks like
Super-
a pumpkin?
Super counterfeit money.
yeah,
Oh my
let's get
god!
some counterfeit
You
money,
buy
dude.
counterfeit money?
That's a great idea.
You know what though? I could actually use that if I ever doing. See, I do actually. I'm like, okay, if I want to burn money in a movie,
Yeah,
I might want to come
sure.
here and buy some super counterfeit.
Yeah.
Counterfeit money at the
dude.
strip club.
You
How
know,
much
so-
does money cost though?
It would
counterfeit
actually
money?
it would actually be
There's a-
cheaper than getting a set designer probably to do it, right?
It would be.
Yeah.
absolutely.
If you're doing production, with
Making a
not-
movie, man. Is that a
Yeah,
Bitcoin
you know, it's
symbol?
It's got to be like
What
a
was-
really good ratio.
Yeah, what
You
was
could
the-
actually use that for real, just because burning money is illegal, I guess.
Yeah,
it
it is.
So if I had to burn a bunch of money, I want to be counterfeit.
counterfeit it. Then
And
they
now
go,
I know where to get it.
And they go, we're arresting you
Versus
for
buying it from
counterfeit
LA.
money.
Oh, what is that? What is
There's
that
sex.
chick right there? What is
Oh,
that?
there you go.
Premium
Lifetime
account.
porn premium account. You could just buy
Oh yeah,
it.
Oh,
yeah. So
sweet.
people are selling other people's accounts and stuff on here. So this is probably not the good stuff,
Buy
like
real passports.
cool stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
I could finally be a spy and have like 5 different passports and make my girl think that I'm some sort of international man of wonder.
Yeah.
I think
Man
the
of
big
mystery.
misconception is that there's like gross stuff happening on here all
Well,
the time.
I think there is
There
gross
probably
stuff
is,
going on.
but
There are
just like anywhere
subcategories
else.
over on the left.
What?
There are subcategories on the left.
What do you want?
Uh,
Hacking, ID, and passports, money, other cash out. And I'm so dead on the inside from stand up that none of this like
Hold on.
even
one of the
what is
phases me.
hacking?
One
Go
of the
to hacking.
exchanges is Canadian, and then it goes down to sex.
Oh,
That's an
oh,
exchange
oh.
rate.
Oh, sweet.
Sex
Where?
is an exchange rate, Rare?
Yeah.
Let's see. Click that.
Yeah, what's the exchange rate?
This is gonna be like a Forex thing, I think, right?
That's so. I mean, like, dude,
Yeah, that's just a currency.
this
Oh,
guy.
that isn't. Oh, there's an actual currency called sex.
Yeah.
Services.
Dude,
That's
I thought it was
services.
going to change it over into like 30 blowjobs or something. I wasn't
30.
quite sure.
Oh,
Him-
that's how they pay you.
Hit what is other? What is other?
Ooh, getting brave.
See, this is where we were. Same
have the
curiosity is kind of how we got
What's
to
the-
over here because it's
Oh, cool. Is that a watch?
Oh yeah.
Now it's just a marketplace.
Counterfeit goods.
You want
Euro
some shirts?
counterfeit euros. I love this.
Yeah.
Now how this? So I guess it's like it's just eBay for like shady ass shit.
yeah,
Pretty
yeah.
much.
Sounds like it.
That's amazing.
And by the way, a form of this has kind of always been around since I remember being like a computer nerd in high school. Like I remember just like you could buy shit online. Craigslist used to be a spot that you would do this before people got on.
Yahoo Chat.
I guarantee you there's a super nerd who uses this to buy not like a porn password. Not something that's not that big a deal.
We've gotten software
like
on
super
here.
Crazy
that's
nerd.
showing jackets and shoes.
Like a spaz, yeah.
Like that's
Okay.
We bought a key generator for software. I won't say which one, but because this is a comedy show,
What
so
do you mean, a
allegedly,
key?
so you can buy these. This is how I used to do. I'd get illegally download programs when BitTorrent was big, right? You used to get a thing called a key generator, and you download that. So when the software came up, it would figure out the key, so you get the software. But now everything's cloud-based, so it's really tough to do. Like Final Draft, right?
Right.
That's the one that you can't really crack. That was like the hard one. Yeah, because I think they pinged it before everybody else, so it would go to their headquarters or whatever to verify. Because it was on like anything cloud-based now. Microsoft Office, I had that free, like until like I had to have a legit company and stuff. And it. Like in college and stuff, when you need that, all day, son.
That's amazing, dude. That's amazing.
So
So anybody got any more questions? I think this is pretty cool.
What about the stuff like how people get people killed and stuff? Like you want
I
to
don't
order
know.
a hit.
I don't know that stuff.
So
I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't
Even
want
if
to
I
give
did?
people any
Even
ideas.
if I did.
dude. I like my listeners.
I wouldn't give
don't
up my
need them
sources.
killing people or going to
So
jail.
go to
for killing
DuckDuckGo.
people. Yeah.
Do you have somebody in mind?
Yeah.
Also,
So let me just do this real quick. Okay, go on. What?
I was
No.
just gonna say, why do you think they have like cute names? DuckDuckGo, IP Chicken, Onion. Like it seems
Because
like
we
they're
like to
purposefully.
dull the mind.
they're
a
making
little
it
bit.
like more childish.
Well, why does
for
every
fun.
commercial have to have like a mascot on it?
Sure.
Like they've literally said we're children and we need cute.
Why is every
character.
dude aloof in every commercial? Every man is aloof.
Well, because
We
they're
fucking
geared towards
build
fucking
buildings and
chicks.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
smart-
I
To
know.
build towards chicks. So what I want to do real quick, and then we'll get final thoughts from everybody, is can you start us from A again? Just because I know people are going to be like, dude, you guys are all on the planet, you know, duh. Can you just start from the beginning and just do step by step
I'm gonna write
to
it down
get us
too.
right here?
So go to Google.
Go to Google.
You're gonna go download the Tor browser. Tor. All right, the Onion router.
Okay.
Then you're gonna go down to. Then you're gonna download that. Open it up. If you want to check the IP stuff, go backwards in this episode. If they don't know how to pause and then go backwards and find this,
They ain't
they'll
getting
be
on the
fine.
dark
They'll
web.
fine.
plus
They're fine.
we're gonna put this in drag and dictate, and I'll get all the keywords out of this. So
Okay.
maybe we can. I don't know.
Send
if
it straight to the NSA that way. It's
yeah,
a lot easier
pretty much.
for
Yeah.
them.
It's-
Well, shout out to all the CIA, NSA that are listening. Big fans.
Hey, I'm a big fan. I sleep very safe at night. Thank
Yeah.
you guys. But so then you go on the Tor browser. It'll take you to DuckDuckGo, I think, automatically as your default search engine, and then you go to Reddit. Just type in Reddit Dream Market.
Okay, question. So this is just one site,
Right.
Like, are they all kind of marketplaces like this?
There,
Or
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know that much. I was just
Okay.
like,
Well,
I was like, Sam, I heard the last podcast. You're in town. We're gonna do a podcast.
Right.
I'll just show you what I know and how to get there, and I'm sure someone else.
I'm not
is
interested
gonna
in
do
going
the same
that deep.
thing.
The fact that I see cocaine being sold makes me happy.
Kind of shocking, right?
It makes me
Weird.
laugh. Like I'm like these. This is why political correctness is right. How old are you?
28.
28. Are you a millennial?
Yes.
Yeah. Listen, man.
Okay.
A lot of people hate millennials. I don't hate millennials. I really don't. They're like breeding less. They're having less children. I don't hate them. The one thing that annoys us about them is this political correctness thing, and the reason they are like that is because they have everything.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yes, racism isn't perfect right now, but people get along a lot better than they used to. You're always going to have these crazy old people saying crazy old stuff. So,
Jacob lives in a flop house. I bet you'll have a plasma.
We do.
Yeah,
right.
like,
I mean, like, everybody's dating. You see interracial dating left and right. Nobody bats at that. Back in the day when I was young, a white chick would walk in with black hair, and everyone's like, what's going on with her? She was, it's like you see white girls in interracial porn from, like, the 80s. Like, those girls were trailblazers, laying it all on
Yeah.
the fucking line right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, those were fucking stunt women right there. Like, that's not the same anymore. And it's just
now
like,
people can handle the girth. Yeah.
yeah, and now you get
Bring in
drugs
the
everywhere.
lesbian.
You get drugs everywhere. If you're gay, you could be gay.
Why
Most
point at me?
people
Yeah.
don't give a shit. So all they really have left right now is we all need a war. We all need something we need to fight back against. It's just like the civil rights movement forever. And I don't think political correctness has anything to do with the civil rights. I think it's the exact opposite, but that's fine. But, we
agree.
all have we need a war to fight. And now that they have everybody gets along, everybody can get married, everyone, blah, blah. Now all they have left are words.
Yeah.
They have to get mad. Now their war is on words. They have to have something to fight against.
That's the joke. Liberals are into censorship.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
Right.
That's the opposite of what you should be doing.
They just don't get that because, then you could apply that to, how is your censorship of that any different than the censorship of the gay lifestyle that happened forever?
Sure.
And they were like, well, feelings. Well,
Right.
that's from your point of view. What happens when someone else comes down the line and censors something you don't like?
Yeah.
Who are you to
Exactly.
decide
It's
what's
all
right or
subjective.
wrong?
Yeah.
And that's the
But
whole
people
problem.
want to be so definitive
Right.
about how
Yeah.
people should live.
All right,
But
Google.
the fact that we see drugs on being sold like this blows my. I'm 45 years old. I've never seen this, and there's a moment on this video where I light up with smiles because you can buy Coke online. It
Thank
cracks
God,
my-
old Sam Tripoli didn't find this.
Oh, yeah. Old Sam Tripoli's heart would just go.
It would be like the Dr. Seuss. It grew 5
Yeah.
hearts out.
Yeah.
It grew 5 sizes.
Okay, so
it beating.
You go to Google,
feverishly. Google.
you download
Tor browser.
Tor browser.
Search Reddit Dream Market on the
Okay.
right hand side. There's going to be a bunch of onion links, and then that'll get you to the the actual marketplace, and then make an account. And when you talk to anybody on there, there's a messaging system for the buyers and sellers, just like eBay and all that shit.
Interesting, dude.
Make sure you do. And I didn't know this the first time. There's like an encryption PGP or something like that. You got to click that box on, otherwise your message is public. So you have to click that box because someone was like, the first time I tried to buy likes or something on here, the guy was like, always, like send me like I read it like a stern dad, like always encrypt all the messages. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you're like, where's the nearest glory
How do you
hole?
encrypt them?
It just has a little checkbox
Oh.
right next to
Encrypt.
it. You just when you
Lazy
don't know
ass.
when you're a noob, you don't know anything. You're just like, I think.
Guys, don't forget to do the encryption.
Yeah,
Check
so
the box.
There's two-factor authentication. You know what I'm saying? Where if you want to double check if you're putting a lot of money into your account, I would do that, but we just do it as is, as needed.
So interesting. All right. Well, final
And then we
thoughts, Eric. Final thoughts.
Thanks for having us, man. And don't buy anything bad on the deep web
Don't
because
do
of
that,
us.
guys,
Don't
yeah.
don't blame us. You know.
Yeah.
We
And
just
guys,
led you
don't
there.
blame us. Don't say we told you to do this. This was just an interesting voyage into
It's a
an
comedy
aspect
show.
of the internet, and it's just fun to learn. Don't buy people or hurt people or do any of that stuff. That's not what this is about. It's just fun to see what all this shit is. If you buy drugs on here or you buy bad shit can happen to you. Okay, this isn't 100% anonymous proof. You don't do dumb stuff. Yes, I'm joking about laughing at Coke being sold, but don't buy Coke on the internet because you'll probably get in trouble, even though I think it's fucking amazing.
Do it like the farmer's market
Pretty
stuff.
awesome though. If you pull it off, you're badass. But
Damien, thoughts?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on the show. This
Dude,
has been
thank you for coming
fascinating.
on. You were great.
I love listening to conspiracies, and I listen to the show offhand. So being on the show is like, oh shit, man, yeah, let's go deep, let's go dark.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you. And they can find your production company at 208monkeys.com.
Monkeys.com. Yeah. I'm not dot onion, not yet.
Not yet, but it will be, dude. It
Grab
will
it.
be.
Grab it
Law,
now.
final thoughts.
No, it's always a good time, man. Always fun to hang out with you. And Sweat Equity Podcast. If you want to email us any business questions, you can hit my email. I'll give my email.
I
don't
think
care.
it's a great idea, dude.
LAW@TOCOWORKS.com. Law@tocoworks.com. We're going to end on.
Yeah, I just wanted to give
Yeah.
final thoughts,
Yeah,
John.
it seemed pretty tame. Yeah, like you said,
I was
eBay
expecting
for like,
just to be like in
Oh,
the
yeah.
in the upside down world,
Yeah,
right?
you
Where
think
just
it'd
like,
yeah, no, it looks really
is that
official.
cocaine?
Yeah, it's very user friendly.
Yeah.
Good UI. It's
Yeah.
really-
UI UX, yeah.
good
There you
UI.
go.
But yeah, it looked like a Bed
It's
Bath
cool.
and Beyond website or some shit. Like,
So, John, as we go out, tell us about one more time your album,
time.
where they can find it, and what song we're going to be listening to.
my album's called Summer at Southside, 40 comedy music songs. You can stream the whole thing for free right now at summeratSouthside.com. We just want people to hear it. We shot 8 music videos. This one is Glory Hole, and this is one of my favorite
Let's
songs.
see it.
And you're on Spotify, right?
Yeah, Spotify, Amazon, all the markets.
So we've been together for a long time now, and I really like you. So there's something I want to show you.
Okay. What is this?
It's just you and me and someone I don't know behind the glory hole. If you could see, then that would ruin all the fun, baby, because I like adventure and I'm not sorry for my guilty pleasure. So please don't judge me. This behavior's accepted amongst my buddies, and everybody has a good time at the glory hole. Everybody's having a great time at the glory hole. Nobody knows who's back behind the glory hole. No, yo, shit is my dad. Glory hole. Glory hole. Glory hole. It's just you and me and my dad behind the hole.
Oh, man.
That was it. Glory Hole. Check it out. Guys, thank you for tuning in to Tinfoil Hat. Hit the 5 stars on the iTunes. Support the show. Guys, check out, we got the Instagram, the Twitter, all that stuff. It's been a pleasure, guys. If you guys are in Tampa, come check me out the next 2 nights at the Tampa Improv. If not, Bruce will be here, acting why white people be crazy. And thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next week, guys. Thank you guys
Obama's
so
a clone.
Welcome back to another episode of
You can cut the tail end off.